up, Red? Power Cosmic in action.
We are Venom! Vibranium Blade!
Case closed.
Level 80%. Visual data successfully connected. Re-registration
Number G5988951. Activation approved.
You have died once. Can you walk?
Your main objective as a raider is to search the hole and get your hands on the Eye of the Reaper. They say that whoever owns it has the power to rule the world.
Woohoo! You also after that thing at the bottom of the hole, senpai? It's first come, first serve. So, you better get a move on.
First things first. This here is Hellgate. Your workplace and your grave.
In the beginning, there was nothing. Everything began with the birth of Orsa, mother of all. She created our world, the land of Orstera.
Are you heading out on your journey? Yes, I suppose the time is right. You're finally ready.
We've come to join your little lighting ceremony.
You have a death wish?
I wish I could see everyone here, laughing and smiling just one more time. Are you going to rebuild Wishvale? Or are you going to find the people who took our home from us?
Witness a tale of beginnings that unfolds across Orstera. Octopath Traveler 0.
Lord Captain von Valancius, heir of Theodora von Valancius, the Prince of Dargonus, Conqueror of the Void, Tyrant Slayer, Savior of the Rykat system, Guardian of the Coronis Expanse, Subjugator of Janus, Architect of the Trade, Explorer of the Dark City, Vanquisher of the Corruption, the Pathfinder, the Rogue Trader.